Hey, this is Joel, and in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you an overview and an honest review of this powered wheelbarrow from Chore Warrior. I wish this existed when I was a kid because I did quite a few trips on a standard old school wheelbarrow with mulch, with sawdust, with all sorts of things growing up in the country, and none of them were this nice or this powerful. So in this video, I'm gonna go over all the details. We're gonna test it out. We got a load of gravel we're gonna throw in here, see how it goes, not just on flat terrain, but up this hill. See how it handles the hills, see how it handles all the obstacles we throw at it in this video. All right, so before we go over the features and I tell you what I think, we need to use this thing first. So we're gonna head on over to the gravel pile. We're gonna test out the 350-pound capacity of the Chore Warrior. It's got 6 cubic foot of space in this poly tray. So let's go get it dirty, throw some gravel in here and see how it does. And the first thing I notice is that if you press this all the way down, it will run away from you. This thing is super fast when it's empty. All right, so let's get a shovel, let's get some gloves, and let's get the Chore Warrior loaded up. Wish there was a power shovel I could use. Almost there. Okay, now, I don't think if I was moving this on my own power, I would have filled it this full, but because we got the extra power of the Chore Warrior, I went as full as I possibly could. Whew, I'm gassed. Picking it up, oh yeah, I can feel there's definitely a lot of weight in there. That is several hundred pounds. They say we've got a 350-pound capacity, but these handles seem to be handling this just fine. So I've got room to maneuver. So what I'm gonna do is put it in reverse here, and we're gonna go up and down some hills with this load to see how it handles it. Reverse. Oh yeah. All right, let's do a little walk and talk with the Chore Warrior. Obviously the power is there to handle this load. That's no problem at all. I have noticed that if you're going and you let go of the accelerator, it wants to tip forward, just inertia, because there's just 2 wheels. So you have to do some firm balancing, but it's easy to turn. And I will say it's almost got too much power at times. Like, you have to watch the throttle. It's really powerful. And with a heavy load on here, that could get you in trouble really quick. You could dump it. So my advice would be go slow. Don't overpower, and definitely watch starting and stopping, because it wants to start really quickly, which pushes your arms down, and it wants to stop really quickly, which pushes your arms up and makes you want to dump forward. Of course, you've got that catch in the front, but you could lose a part of your load. So now I thought we'd go up this hill and see how it does on this hill. See if I can catch my breath before we do this. All right, we're here at one of the biggest hills we have access to, full load of gravel. See how the Chore Warrior does going up this hill. I actually don't think it's gonna have any issue. The only question I have is how will these wheels do going up this hill? The ground's a little soft. There's not a lot of really thick tread on the wheels, but we'll see how it does. Here we go. This has very responsive power. Okay. I feel it slowing down a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more pressure on me. I mean, I'm definitely helping. I'm trying to keep it at the right angle. That seems to be the right angle right there, but I would not be able to go up this hill by myself. And I do have to support the back of this wheelbarrow. So we did make it up quite a steep hill. I felt it bogging just a little bit, but I mean, look down at that hill. That's a ridiculous hill we just climbed, and I would never try to do that with a wheelbarrow full of gravel under my own power. So let's go ahead and go down. I know it's gonna be a little more difficult going down, keeping control. I just wanna see how the motor helps me as I'm going down. Okay, yeah, the motor does slow you up quite a bit. In fact, I'm off the gas and it's just crawling. That's really helpful on descent because I've used some other powered wheelbarrows that do not slow you down on the descent. They just want to go, but the Chore Warrior actually does. So way more than enough power going flat ground. It handled that hill. I had to help it out, but I'm telling you, this thing's got power for days. All right, and here we are back at our gravel pile. Let's test the dumping ability. What I really like is it's got this pronounced front on it that's going to allow us to get better leverage when we're dumping our entire load. So I'm gonna set it down. Oh gosh. Yeah, that really does help. And you can tell that was a large load. Now what we can do is we can use the motor. We can reverse just a little bit, come back out, dump our gravel. Yeah, and really just allows us to get every last bit of it out there. The one thing I do notice is you have to be more careful when you're tipping it over because you've got so much more weight here in the middle from the battery and the motor than you would a regular wheelbarrow. If you get it tilting to the side, you start to feel that weight a little. It's really well built, but where you feel the flex a little bit is these handles as you're picking up a load like that. I think it's because these handles are higher. A regular wheelbarrow, they would be down here. And so I felt the flex a little bit with a full load, kind of doing that, feeling it here. It seems to hold up to it just fine, but I have no complaints with the Chore Warrior in action with a large load of gravel. All right, I feel like the gravel was probably very close to the limits for this wheelbarrow, 350-pound capacity. So now we're gonna try some logs. I've done this with some other utility carts so I can get a good comparison. I'm gonna throw these uncut logs in here and just see how it does on the same hills with the same kind of test. I can see this flexing a little bit. I think that that's good because it'll keep it from breaking, but there's a lot of flex in this sidewall of this poly tub, but I think it's good and strong. There's just a lot of flex when you throw a log in there like that. All right, my best guess is that this is somewhere around 150 to 200 pounds of logs, maybe just one more to feel good about it. Let's go 2 more. I think that's pretty good. We're definitely under 250 pounds, maybe around 200 to 250. Let's see how this does. I believe this is less, oh yeah, way less pounds than the load of gravel we just had on there. All right, same tracks, same hill, lighter load. Like I said, I'm estimating this to be around 200 to 250 pounds, way less than the gravel we just took up, which might have been over capacity, honestly. So let's see how it does. Yeah, it's handling this a lot easier, a lot better. It's a lot less weight. Definitely within the realm of stated capacities. Night and day. So I would say something like a full load of gravel is gonna struggle more, but when you get a standard load of wood in here, it's a good load of firewood. It has no problem on a ridiculous hill like that we just tested it on. All right, so while I quickly catch my breath from all this running around and testing, I want to tell you about the batteries in this thing. It's got 2 9-amp-hour batteries sealed and inside a box on the underside of the wheelbarrow. They look really well protected, and 2 9-amp-hour batteries, that's 18 amp hours. That's a lot of time. We've been running around testing for a while, and I'm still getting on my little LED indicator over here. I still have a full 4 lights, but at only 4 lights, you know, it could be 80% and it's just not showing because it's not to 75% yet. This is your charging panel right here. All the wiring is protected right behind that. I really like that. You plug it in right here and it'll recharge. These are 24-volt batteries, so it feels like 24 volts is a little undersized for this, but it seems to do a good job. It's got plenty of power for mulch, firewood, sawdust, branches, logs you want to throw around. When you get into heavy things like cement blocks and gravel, it might struggle a little bit more, but 350-pound capacity, we might have exceeded that in this test. So just want to give you the far extremes so you can see it in action and see just how good it is with a regular load. So the wheelbarrow sets on these 15-inch pneumatic tires, and like a lot of the tires I see on powered equipment like this, I wish we had just a little bit more tread. If you're going up an incline, these could, in wet or soggy ground, tend to slip. Now, we didn't see any of that in our testing, but I can just tell you the tread is low, so that's a possibility, but it's a high-quality tire. It's air-filled, not foam-filled, so, you know, possibility of puncture is there, but these pneumatic tires seem like they're up for the job. We didn't have any problems with them in our testing. I just wish they had a little bit more tread. So final thoughts on the Chore Warrior powered wheelbarrow. I think this is one of the handiest things that I've seen for your yard and landscaping in a long time. It's really gonna make your Saturday afternoon chores a lot easier, and I think Chore Warrior is a great name for it. You can throw mulch and sticks and logs and everything, gravel in here. My only caution to you would be not to overload it. Take care of this poly tub. It's not metal, but if not abused, this will serve you wonderfully for years. It's got a powerful motor, really nice batteries, it's well constructed, and I really think you're gonna like this one. So check it out for yourself.